Welcome, guys, to another episode in my series that I call What Would You Do? This is another one from Reddit. It's a question that's posed, and it's something that a lot of people don't really understand, and that is, should I take more risks by allocating more stocks in my portfolio when I am young? And like I said, this was posted on Reddit. To word that a little bit differently is, should I be allocating the majority of my portfolio towards stocks and mutual funds versus bonds or other safer investments? Remember, every investment is risky, no matter what you're in, whether it's real estate, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, anything. Everything has risk. All right, so let's go right into it. And we'll start off with the situation. So this is copy and paste from Reddit. I don't like to really change anything unless there's anything identifiable in there, because I want it to be what is the real situation? What is the person asking? So the situation is this. Should I take more risks by allocating more stocks in my portfolio when I am young? For my retirement fund, I thought about diversifying my portfolio in U.S. stocks ETF, international stocks ETF, bonds, and maybe real estate. However, I am only in my 20s. I am not going to touch this fund until 30 to 40 years from now, which is great. That's what you should be doing. When you're investing in a 401k, an IRA, you shouldn't touch that money until retirement. And there are very special considerations and situations where you may want to access that money. All right, so let's continue. So should I take slightly more risks and maybe simplify my portfolio by just putting everything into one major US stock ETF like VTI? Then when I am older, I can start to invest more in bonds, real estate, and other safer options. Am I on the right track here? Well, here's the thing, right? I don't want to say that there's safer options. There are always risks. And real estate is risky. Real estate should not be considered a safe investment choice. And you really need to watch out if you think it is a safe investment choice. But to answer the question is, yes, of course, you should be investing in quote unquote higher risk items at a younger age, because you have more time for that money to regain any losses it may have, right? So if you have $100 in the stock market and the stock market goes down by 20%, you still have time to put it in. Now, there are certain things I would qualify this, right? If you're under 25, which some of you may be, I would say even maybe under 30, right? I'm under 30. I have 100% of my portfolio in stocks and mutual funds. I'm seeing great returns, but I'm also prepared to see a 20 to 30% drop in the next 5 years. And I'll still be okay to recoup. But in 5 years from now, I'm going to look back at my portfolio and I'm going to say, you know what? This is risky. A full stock portfolio is risky. So I'm going to start thinking about, should I put stuff into bonds? Should I put 10%, 20%? And it depends on your life. Everything in life comes down to your situation. And it changes as it goes, right? But at 25 years old, I'm in it for the long game. I have a salary where I'm able to pay my bills and I'm able to invest. I don't have to count on taking money from those investments in the next 5 to 10 years to put into my pocket in order to buy groceries. Now, there may come a time, right? I may lose my job. I may lose income from certain assets I have outside of the stock market that no longer bring an income in, and I need to figure it out. Everything changes as time goes on, and you need to be prepared for that change. And here's the big one, right? And let me take a sip of this. Is stress. I know a lot of people including myself. There are days where I look at the market and I'm like, oh, God bless it. Can't believe it's dropped, 2%. And there are other days where it doesn't. You need to do it based on your stress. If you're going to be constantly looking at your investments, and when I say constantly, I mean like you're opening the Fidelity app or the Robinhood app on your phone every 10 minutes to see how you're doing, and you're getting this, you get sick in your stomach and you're going to puke because a stock goes down in your portfolio or your mutual fund goes down 2 days in a row, or you lose 6% of your account in a week, 10% of your account in a week. If you're physically getting sick from it and the stress is overwhelming, you need to rebalance your portfolio. You need to say, you know what? I need to redo this. I need to balance out my portfolio with my life, with my stress. And maybe it is taking those investments and putting them into an item which is less risky. Because at the end of the day, remember this, guys, every financial decision is dependent on your situation, and everybody's situation is different. I can tell you what I'm going to do, but it depends on what your life is. And for this gentleman, I think he's in the same boat as me. He's able to pay his bills. He's not focusing on that money to buy a house in a year or 2 years. It is pure retirement money, and he has no intention. And he's not planning on touching it for 30 years. So yes, 100% in stocks, that is the way to go for this situation right here. But I'll say, remember, there will always be people out there that want to sell you something. There are people that are going to try and sell you insurance. They're going to try and sell you on bonds, on random real estate investments, and say it's the safest investment. You need to do the research. Don't take their word for it. Don't take my word for any of this. You need to look at this and do the calculation yourself and think about where you are and ask yourself, are you willing to accept that amount of risk? Anyhow, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I do this for the fun of it. This was just a short video based on whether or not a 20-year-old should allocate more stocks in their portfolio when they're at that young age. The answer is yes, in my opinion. You should 100% be in stocks, maybe 100% in stocks at some level, not 100% all of it, right? Maybe it's 90-10, 90% stocks, mutual funds, 10% bonds. Personally, 100%. I hope you guys have a great day, and like always, this is my own personal advice. I do this for fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe to Money Isn't Hard.